Hi painting people, I'm going to do another paint pour today using the swipe technique. And this time I'm going to use black as the swipe. So let me show you what I have going on here. I mixed these colors up yesterday. I like to spend time deciding on colors. So I mixed these up yesterday. I've got paint, pouring medium, a little bit of water, and a few drops of silicone in each color. And in order to keep them from drying out overnight, I cover them with plastic and a rubber band. So now that these are all mixed up, I have my stick still in them. I like to check the density, how it feels to me when I stir them. So I go through each color. This bronze color feels a little thick to me, so I'm going to add just with a drinking straw. I have a cup of water here. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to it. I use a drinking straw, that way it doesn't, if I pour it out of a cup, it would dump way too much water in, so I just use really small amounts. So I feel like it's thinned down a little bit to my liking. And then the black I'm using is a little bit thicker. So let me talk about these colors. I'm going to list these colors, these exact colors, in my description. These are all Nova paints, but I added white to these colors because I want, since we're using black as the swipe, I want these to be a little bit lighter in value. So this blue, these blues, and this green I added white to. I do not add white to pearlescence or metallics such as this gold and this bronze because it kind of destroys the metallic look to it. So I also have them in the order that I'm going to pour, so I'm just going to start pouring. Using nowhere near all the paint I have mixed up. I just mixed up full cups. These are 10-ounce cups. I'm using a 12 by 12 canvas today. So what's left, there'll be plenty for another pour on another canvas another day. Now I want to make sure I get some crossover color, so I'm going to go back and make sure some of this gets mixed. I like it when colors cross over each other and create new tones. So I see I've got a little space left here, so I'm going to use this blue. I'm going to tilt just a little bit, integrate them just a little before I do the swipe. Doesn't have to be perfect coverage because we're going to drag these colors. Now, I typically have used this kitchen spatula to drag, but it's such a light touch that you need. This is too heavy. I also have a smaller one. I feel like it's a little too heavy today, so my swipe is going to be done with a piece of paper, just a note card. So here goes the black across the top, and that's what we're going to drag across these colors to create these cell patterns. The whole point of this technique is to create cells, and the silicone is what helps you create cells. You can create cells without silicone, but it depends on paint densities. So adding silicone to these colors, there's no silicone in the black, but there's silicone to the colors. That is where the silicone will rise to the top through the black, and we should get some nice patterns. I'm going to add just a little bit of black here. I want to make sure I have enough. Now I'm going to take this note card and touch it down, and we're going to drag it all the way down. Take a new note card. And since I missed this part here, I'll just drag this. So you can see the black was thicker up here, and as I drug the black down, it became less and less black, which enabled the colors to come up through the black and create these nice cells. Now here's where you decide what to do next. Do you leave it and watch it? I feel like this is a little bit thick here. There may not be any more cells come up. I don't need cells across the entire surface, but I wouldn't mind if there were a few more here in this section here. So I'm going to try another partial drag very carefully. Let's see, I thought that's too big of a color spot there, so let me see if I can drag some more black over it. I'm going to try the same thing here. I like using a fresh piece of paper, that way I don't get paint dripping off. I'm going to do just a partial right here and see if I can get a few more cells. Just really light. It's just touching the paint is all. Just releasing. See, if you've done any pours with white, you know the white is a heavier paint. The titanium in it makes it heavier. The black is much more touchy. So I'm going to try and soften this black edge here. That's all I'm trying to do here. I think it's a little bit of a hard edge. So I'm just taking a stick, just making my own patterns in here. You never know what's going to happen until you start. And then you just deal with whatever it is you see. You say, okay, I'm going to change that, or I'm going to add to it. You don't want to destroy your cells, though. That's the whole idea of this, is to have these nice cells. Just doing some very minor things here to make it more interesting. Just a little touch here and there. I'm dragging some lines, kind of integrates the whole thing. See, I just dripped some paint in there. Right there. But that's okay. It's part of the process. Totally leave this alone down here. This is the idea. This is what you're looking for, are these nice cells. But I'm still going to soften this black edge just a little bit. This is where you separate your paintings from everybody else's by your color choices and the things that you do, if anything, to what the results are. I like doing this myself. I like dragging little lines, not a lot. But I don't like the the hard edge. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going for a little bit of an organic look here. Now I'm just going to look at it and see, do I want to do anything else? A little bit here. So I can maybe soften up this hard blue line here. Dragging some black in there, and I'm getting some of this blue, other color blue coming in. That's kind of fun. What happened was my paper drug a little harder on this light blue than it did over here. So it took away most of the black. So I'm just kind of remedying it a little bit by dragging some black in there. Again, they aren't cells, but they're just interesting patterns. Softens this up a little bit. See this, I drug this blue into this light blue. I like that a lot. I'm going to try that just a little bit more before I quit. You got to know when to quit also. I'm thinking that that's probably going to do it. No torching, nothing. The cells just came up on their own with the help from the silicone. So there's a swipe painting using black. Again, if you use black as opposed to white, black's a little more, it's lighter, it's a little more delicate touch. And if you are a newbie and this technique is all new to you, I hope you'll watch some of my other videos. It may answer some of the questions that you have about silicone, about mixing, etc. And this is the silicone I use. It's the treadmill belt lubricant. It's 100% silicone. I get it on Amazon. This is what I use. So, and I also, again, I have the colors I use listed in my description below. So I hope you check it out and look for the dried painting on Instagram, and we'll see you in the next video.